Hello, the finance major student. Today video clips will introduce how to start forecasting model, understanding the characteristic of the revenue. We'll focus on the quarterly based revenue forecasting model, and then you can the expand into the more years. But here, just 1 year projections, forecasting quarter basis, right? So we are going to use the real data of Apple cases. Once you the realistically the forecast the sales, then you can correspond all the income statement items and the balance sheet. But some balance sheet account or the income statement item cannot be just simply the link to the percentage of sales for some reasons, and we'll the discover which kind of the account or income statement item cannot be the corresponded as a percentage of sales. Okay. So again, always the sales is the starting point in the forecasting projections or pro forma statement or valuations or free cash flow model. Always the sales is the feed of or the forecasting planning, short term or long term. Now this is the revenue, Apple, the quarter basis. So Apple has the fiscal year end, not December's, but here the September, right? And then they have the seasonality, right? The year end, which is now the quarter. Fiscal quarter one is the highest sales, right? For example, 2022 December 31st, the fiscal quarter one is the highest quarter, right, among these 4 quarters, right? So because they sell more product in Black Friday, Thanksgiving, holidays, or the Christmas seasons. So here you see some seasonality. And then Apple yearly sales can show some trend, right? Some trend. Then next, the tab will explore how can we find the relationship between the sales and the income statement items and the balance sheet account, so that we can use some trend, or we have to use some other the functions. For example, sales and cost of goods sold, here they move almost similar way, right? Yeah, because based on the matching principle, when they sell one more product, and then the cost of goods sold also increases or decreases. But the net property plant equipment has their own trend, right? Because the net property plant equipment has their long-term the useful life, 5 years, 10 years, and then the company uses this asset to produce the sales, right? So the time span is different. Quarter basis has the seasonality, but the net property plant equipment doesn't have seasonality, but only the trend, right? So that's why we can use the trend function to forecast property plant equipment, ignoring seasonality. But the sales or the cost of goods sold quarter basis, we cannot use just a trend because they include other characters, other components, seasonality or irregularities. So here, how to calculate the trend? Now, trend, open the parentheses. Always the y, known y is the objective first. And then here, x-axis is the time series. Yeah? I want to fix, because I'm going to drag this to sales and the cost of sales, just to get the trend. And then we will see how this trend ignores the seasonality in the cost of sales and the quarter sales. So anyway, let's finish. And then new x-axis, here I want to fix, comma, and then constant is generally is true normally. So here true. Then it will show the trend here. Do you see the trend? We stopped it here, but now we generate some trend here, right? So this is the net property plant equipment, so some trend. Then here, this trend can be linked to the property plant equipment assumption table. Do you see here? Right? But you can also add some changes of this incremental changes to property plant equipment based on your own research. You can add like 10% more increase or decrease based on the research, reading the 10K or 10Q or the articles out there. We can also calculate the trend of the quarter basis sales and cost of sales. But again, it doesn't show any seasonality, just increasing smoothly. But yeah, usually they have the first quarter highest, and then second quarter, yeah, in the second, and then before the third quarter is the lowest, and then they rebounded, and then next quarter, first quarter, and then they have the highest one again. But this trend doesn't show any this kind of seasonality, right? That's why we cannot use this for the forecasting model. Instead, we just focus on here how to get the net property plant equipment in trend function. If you want to clarify the relationship between each function, you can also draw you can also draw some the linear line of this sales and cost of goods sold using insert here, right? And then I think if the sales affect the cost of goods sold, then we have to switch the data y and axis. So let me just revise this. The x-axis is not the sales, then cost of sales first, and then y value is now the quarter sales. I just change this. Okay, then now the y-axis is the sales, and then x-axis is now the cost of sales. Click any dot, add the trend line, display equations, and display R squared, the determination factors. And then you can see the relationship, their relationship is very high. 98% is explained by these dots, right? It's almost 100% explained. Got it? That relationship between the sales and the cost of goods sold. If you want to draw the sales and net property plant equipment, also insert scatter chart. In this case, in this case, I don't want to change, revise this y and x-axis because the net property plant equipment is the source of the sales, right? When you increase net property plant equipment, fixed asset investment, capital expenditures, increase the sales. So let's leave this. Then click add trend line and display equation and R squared. So here, now it's only 25% R squared explained by those dots, right? You can also calculate here correlation, right? The relationship is not causal effect, but just the relationship between these two, right? So correlation, you don't need to distinguish y and x-axis. So yeah, so that's why the Excel function shows just the array, right? It's not known y or known x-axis. So here, now the correlation between these two is 99%, right? So that's why you can use percentage of sales when you project the cost of sales along with the compared with the sales quarter sales, right? Also, you can also calculate correlation of sales and net property plant equipment. So it's the 50%, right? 0.25, right? That's why we need to use some different the functions to project or to forecast the net property plant equipment different from the sales. But when we project very long term financial planning to forecast the sales like 5 years yearly basis, then yeah, it is excusable. We can use the just the percentage of sales to project a net property plant equipment. Okay, then here in the next video clip, I will explore some other the trend function. If we can use some other trend function, then we might use to project or to forecast the sales or the cost of goods sold in the next the video clips. See you guys later.